Hello everybody, how you doing? Superfiend here, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Before we kick this episode off, I just wanted to make a quick note to say that I have made a few changes in my recording software, capture software, and there should be a noticeable improvement moving forward in the series from here on out in terms of quality and turnaround time in getting episodes rendered and uploaded. Now, what I want to do right now, let's go ahead and jump into Whacky World. What I'd like to do this episode is I'd like to put down that little kiddie coaster that I keep alluding to. I was making coffee and I had a few more ideas about how that coaster would actually look and run. And so I want to see if I can go ahead and get the track laid down this episode and then come back in the next episode or so and build up the scenery around it. And the basic idea is some sort of kiddie coaster right in here, and it'll kind of go up and then come down this way and maybe do a little roundabout and then just come back to the station. So it's going to be really small, real simple, great for the kids. And then we'll dress it up with some temple-like scenery. And I'm thinking that the little roundabout piece of the coaster is going to go through some sort of enclosed temple garden type of thing with maybe a nice little fountain in the center of it. So let's go ahead and first, before we build that, let's just see what the research is doing. Let's get all these research projects collected or revealed. And then we will go ahead, start new research, and then we'll just start working on the coaster. So we're going to go ahead and do Tiki Chiki, the Pip Shot, and one of the thrill rides. And we'll go ahead and just bump everything up to the maximum amount of research that we can spend financially, the max amount of money. And let's go ahead and let's build the ride. Excuse me there. Feeling just a tiny bit phlegmy today. I don't know why. And for this ride, we got two good choices. We got the Dragon and we got the Wendigo. And this is for adults and teens only, so it's not really suited. The spiral spinning coaster, that could work, but it's not really what I want. I want just more of like coaster cars. And let's see, all ages, but I think this one's kind of, yeah, see, that one's kind of big. That's a lot bigger than what I'm looking for here. And this one actually, is this for all ages? Cannot invert. This one might actually work okay. But I think we're going to go ahead and, well, let's see, out of these two things, well, this one's huge. We'd have to shorten that up quite a bit. Between the Wendigo and the Dragon, I think the Dragon is probably going to be more appropriate for this ride. And the coaster station is going to, oh, let's see, it's going to go about here, give or take. And let's see, the entrance is kind of going to be back here, I think. And we do have the collision turned off. And I think I want to raise it off the ground. The queue will be slightly off the ground at some point. So let's just go ahead and pretend that we will be using floor tiles for the floor. And so if we're going to do 2 floor tiles for the floor, that's where the floor would be. We would be using the top tile for the path grid, and then we want a wall piece. Any 4-meter wall piece will do, and then we'll just put 2 tiles on top. And so the path would line up at the in between these 2 tiles, right where they line up. That's where the coaster station needs to line up height-wise. So again, I said we're probably going to use the Dragon for this. Excuse me, it's just clearing my throat. Now, so we're going to set this down and hit X for advanced move. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, this way is not as important as height. Height is what I want to get correct. So let's move it over next to the wall, or this little building, just to get the height correct. All right, so that's about how high I think it needs to be. And then we'll zoom out here and we'll go into rotation And it's pretty much gonna be a straight shot, even with this this taller building that we put there, this taller hidden temple, lost civilization building. And so now, let's see, we want to make sure that it has room to come back into the station. And so I think with the design that I'm shooting for, I think this will work. I think this will be okay. We might just want to scooch it forward just a little bit. And we might even be able to set it over here just a little bit. And it is a good distance off the ground. So let's go ahead and let's accept that for now. And we'll go into the station. And this ride, I think, is going to enter and exit both on this side over here. So let's go ahead and change that to this kind of station layout. And let's shorten the station up a little bit because it is too long right now. So how many cars is this? 2, 4, 6, 8 versus 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Okay, we're going to do 9 cars. I'm going to go ahead and say done. Whoops. We missed a couple of the cars. Let's go back to the station. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so 9 cars. And let's say done. And let's see. Select it and do an M and an X. It moved a little bit like laterally, but the height didn't change. So that's good. That's pretty much what I wanted. And let's change it to world axes, relative axes. Okay, it's not going to get any better. If we rotate it this way first, let's try one more rotation. Come on. Yeah, it's always off center now. All right, so forget it. Forget doing it that way. We're just going to have to deal with this silliness. It'd be nice if these axes lined up with the actual coaster track, but they don't appear to want to do that. So we just need to keep scooching it this way. And I think this will actually work. I think this will be okay. We might be able to move it just a little bit more this way. Okay. And now let's just go ahead and move this building over here. We want to keep it around because we want to use it for the paths when we finally do the paths. And let's see. So I think the way I'd like this to work is they're going to come out of the station in regular track. I don't want the angle snap on. And we're going to go down, let's just say like 7 degrees. And we're going to make it shorter. Okay. And then we're going to curve, and we're just going to do 90 degrees, a 90-degree curve. And now we're just going to go straight. Okay. And we can lengthen this out. And I think about there is where I'd like it to go. And then we're going to lift it up to flat and shorten it and go over 90 degrees. So we're going to come out of the station and just do like a big 90-degree turn. And we're going to go into our, not a chain lift, it's a friction wheel lift on this ride. And because it's a kiddie ride, I guess it doesn't have as steep of an incline, 30 degrees. And let's see, we're going to lengthen that out. I guess 12 is a nice number. Really no science to that. And let's see. So maybe one more. Yeah, that might have been too much. That might have been too much. So I think here we're going to shorten it. Let's see. No, we're going to go back to the 30. We're going to increase it to 12. And this is a tough choice. It's getting kind of tall. Let's say we go to 0 degrees there. How tall is it? It's 60 feet tall. That's really big for the kids. This thing's going to pick up some speed. So I think that was too much. I think we'll go to 10. We'll go to 8. And then we'll go down to like 4 and just flatten it out. And I think that's just slightly shorter. I think that's just a little bit better. And now we're going to change it to, let's see, regular track. And we're going to lengthen this out to, I guess 7. What I want it to do is I want it to come around and I want it to go by the coaster station. That's what I want. And maybe drive tires. Let's see, can the drive tires turn? They can. So that's actually better. And okay, so when this is at 7, these two line up right here. But what I really want is I want the incline to start like further down here so that as it bottoms out, it's bottoming out a little bit past this part. So they're going to go over that track. So the way we can do that is as we stretch this out, this piece moves forward just a little bit. And then if we straighten that and shorten it, I guess 4 meters good. And let's go ahead and look at the target speed on these. I guess we're going to keep it at 5. You know, these are little kids. We don't want to terrify them. And now we're going to kind of stretch this out a bit, and then the incline is the same degrees as, or the decline is the same 30 degrees as the incline, but because it starts farther out, it should clear that track. And let's just see if it does it. No, it crashed right into it. So we need to make a small change. Maybe, okay, so what's it doing? It's back on the drive tires. So let's stretch it back out. And let's say maybe instead of 30, let's just say we do 20. Okay, that's more about what I want for this. Okay, so nice steady drop decline for the kids. And actually, you know, to make it a little bit more fun for them, another way we could accomplish the same thing, and I think it'll actually be better than just one steady drop, is to kind of do like a double drop. So let's go out to 12. Let's go down 30. And then we'll go like minus 15, roughly. Doesn't have to be exact. And we'll shorten it. And we could flatten it out. No, minus 20. Okay, and then we'll stretch it out some more. Actually, no, we'll keep it short. And we'll drop it down steeper again. And let's see. Wonder how they'll like this. There we go. This looks a little bit better for the kids, you know, kind of like woo woo, bounce their tummies a little bit, and a good introduction for not eating too soon before going on a ride. And let's see. Now let's back this up, and let's just go flat here, and then we'll go up 30. Can't go any steeper than that. And what I want is I want it to kind of come into a room that has an enclosed fountain garden type thing, like some area that was originally like an ancient garden, but you know, became overgrown with time. And I just want it to kind of spin around in there and then come back through this way and go back into the station. That is the overall design. And so what I think, and of course we can always move this, right? So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to start to get ready to turn it this way to enter into the garden. Whoops. Except it is a little bit high. So let's see if we do this and we flatten it out and just a little bit less of a curve. And then now here we can go completely flat with the track rotation. And let's see. how big is this curve going to be? What's our... We're at like 20 degrees. So I think what we'll do is we'll do that, and then we'll stretch it out pretty far, and we'll just go like, let's say 30 degrees in the other direction, and we'll bank it by about, yeah, by about 40 seems okay. And what we'll do is now we'll start to come down. Let's see, this is looking like it could be a pretty big turn. And they're not going to have a whole bunch of speed going through there. Okay, so I think we need to make this turn. I think it needs to be a little bit sharper. It was like, I don't know, 20. Maybe it was 30. Let's try 40 degree turn. And I know it was banked about 40. And so let's see how this looks. And we'll kind of start to go down in this turn. And now we'll kind of go up. Oops, I want to go up a little bit more. So we kind of start wanting to go up. And if we shorten the track and increase the curvature of the turn, then we'll curl around inside here. Okay, so now let's go down a little bit less, and we'll shorten it just a little bit and go up. And we probably need to go up a little bit less than that. And we need to start coming back this way. So let's start straightening this out. Probably just go flat. Let's see. Okay, so there's 0 curvature. And maybe shorten this. And then lengthen it. And let's see. This is about even with that track. So now if we just shorten it a little bit, it'll take us back the other way. And just a slight bank there. And actually we're gonna undo that turn just a little bit. And now we'll straighten the turn out. Maybe lengthen it, and then we'll flatten it here. So the bank will just be very slight as they come through this turn, and we can straighten it. And it's not quite straight, so let's see if we can't straighten that out better. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to start building from the back of the coaster station. And what we're going to do is, now another part of the reason why it comes out and goes down is so that on the return it can go over this section. At least that's kind of my idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to lengthen that. I think we're going to turn it 90 degrees. And we're going to do a bit of a decline here. Kind of steep. Maybe not quite 15. Maybe like 10 degrees. And maybe a little bit less. Like half of that. So it was 10 degrees here, 5 degrees here. And now we can switch to a block section. And we'll just make this block section flat, completely flat. And how long is it? We'll make it about as long as the coaster station, I guess. Okay, so now as we build straight back to this one, then we can kind of fix up this little bit of a mess over there. So now we're going to change to the regular track. And we're just going to kind of go up and down through here. So you shorten it a little bit more. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So we kind of got it straightened out. let's do a test run. Let's just make a couple changes in here. The target brake speed, let's just say, is 20. We're going to add the catwalk. We're going to extend the catwalk down into the station. So I think that would be better without selecting the station. Where's the catwalk? There we go. And back to the trim brakes. The release speed, we'll release at 8, and we'll kind of do a fast release acceleration. They shouldn't be coming out of there too fast. The exit speed for the coaster, well, let's just go ahead and set these up both really high. I'm not really sure exactly how these affect things in the coaster station, to be honest. And the chain lift. Now these ones are markedly, noticeably slower than the other coasters. The other ones go up to like 15. Let's try 6 for this, and then we'll match the tires at 6 as well. And we'll just increase the acceleration, and then we'll add the catwalk. Okay, let's go ahead and test this and see what it does. Where's the test? Okay. And the park's running, so off they go. Okay, so they get it. They have clearance under here, no problem. And I kind of want to go into the orbit camera to follow them. Okay, so they got a kind of a slow crawl around the top there. Not very exciting, that. And just, are they going to be able to get through all this and make the trip home? That's the question. Yeah, see, it's moving very slow. I'd like the whole ride to move a little bit faster. But let's go ahead and see how abysmal these numbers are. I'm sure they're going to be terrible. That's not, that's not terrible for a kid's ride. Not terrible. And let's look at the heat maps. Let's just pause the game for a moment. And let's just look at the excitement. Okay, previous run. So really not exciting anywhere. The fear is low, which is what you want for the kids. And there's really no, I don't understand how the nausea could be so high right in here. That doesn't make sense to me. And the vertical G-forces are usually a problem. And these ones really just, they're not that bad. We could clean it up a little bit in here. So let's just go ahead and select all of this, and let's just try a little bit of smoothing. And I don't like how this section turned out, so let's go ahead and just grab these two, and we'll smooth, and then we'll move this along this way, and we'll smooth, and I think that is a little bit better. And I really am not so happy with how all this turned out. It's a little messy. So let's go ahead and let's try moving this. Can we move? Oh, that was down. Okay, so we can stretch it out that way. Okay, let's see how what we can accomplish by playing with these just a little bit. Okay, this is going to screw up the smoothing that we did, but I'm okay with that. We'll smooth it out and get it better in a moment. And let's see. Move this over here. Like, this looks so terrible right now. Oh boy. You should be ashamed of myself. Okay, let's see. Okay. Now see, we could build an enclosure around this, and there's enough room in the center to get some sort of like garden garden motif going. So let's just go ahead now that we've done that and made it terrible. Let's smooth it out a little bit. And we'll just do a little bit at a time. Maybe a little bit more over here. And let's see. I'd kind of like for there to be more track supports over here. But this appears to be too close. Oh, I'm a dummy. It's because of the path underneath it. Okay. So let's just undo until we get back to where we are. So as soon as this path gets deleted, which is just a placeholder for like separating the major areas of the park, as soon as that goes away, then it'll fix itself. Okay. So let's just clean up a little bit in here. Minor changes. Yeah, you know, I think we'll keep this the way it is. It's not absolutely perfect, but I'm mostly happy with it. We'll smooth this just a little bit. And I would like to get more speed. Just a little bit more speed. I feel like the whole ride was moving just too slow. So what do you got here? 30, 28, 30, 29. Well, I don't know. Maybe the speed's actually okay for a kid's coaster. And we could bump this up 2 more miles per hour. That'll make a small difference. And what could we do here? And then if we select this and smooth, how does that end up looking? Track limits exceeded. And you know, I think that actually is okay for a kid's coaster. I think this will actually work pretty good. And what we'll do, well, this part's a little bad. Let's just see if we can fix that. Okay, and maybe just a slight bank this way here. And maybe we'll just smooth banking just a little bit. I don't know if that really made it better or worse. Yeah, let's just smooth it again. Okay, there, that's fine. And we've got banking going through here. Pretty happy with it. And so what we're going to do is we'll probably fill this area out kind of like this. So it'll be like an enclosed thing that, you know, this kind of just goes through really quick, and then it will go into some other area, which is like a garden, and we'll maybe put some water and some other stuff in there and just see if we can't find a way to dress it up and make it look nice. And then I think this will be a good walkway for the guests to come in here. They'll have this ride and scenery to go past. They'll have a little kiddie ride here with a nice queue that kind of heads over this way. This will be maybe not here anymore, but maybe a little bit further along this way. We got this other hidden temple thing from earlier episodes there. And then we're going to come around the corner here with the boats and some other stuff. And then there is that one blue coaster that's the Stingray that I want to put over here and have it go in some sort of cave with water in it, and maybe the Kraken monster, the animatronic. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Really quick, let's just experience this from their perspective. But before we do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to set up the block section. Kind of want to get everything all set up for this, for when we're ready to open it, so that we don't forget to do these things. And just like before, we'll set those, I don't know, probably 22 seconds will be roughly sufficient. And let's see, what do we want to call this? Lost Gardens, I don't know, something like that. And we'll probably be able to charge, like, I don't know, kitty rides don't bring a huge price. Well, we'll set it at 14, and then when we finally open it, we can get a feel for how they feel about the price, whether they're going to pay that or not. And we'll do every 10 minutes for the inspection schedule. And let's just go ahead and test it with the, let's see, number of cars. Forgot to increase the number of cars. Now let's just speed it up. And okay, it is going. So let's see. It's gonna be close. I think this one got stuck at the top, so we need to wait a little bit longer. Let's say 30 seconds. Might even need to be a little bit longer than that. Yeah, I think it's going to need to be a little bit longer than that. No, actually that seemed like it did it. Let's let it go through one more time. Yeah, okay, so 30 seconds seems to be good. We'll go ahead and we'll change it to 32 just to be certain. And let's change the game speed and look at the ratings again since we made the changes. And I think this is going to be good for a kid's ride. I think they're going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and let's act like we're going to ride it. We'll just go ahead and actually we're going to switch to the other car. Otherwise we're going to have to wait 30 seconds. So here's the other car going up. Test results. Oh, that's cool. You can actually, this is new with the update, I think. You can see the test results as you ride it. That's neat. Good on them. So we got a nice little incline, goes over the beginning of the station. And we're going to come around here and we're going to have some nice scenery in here, I think. Yeah, that looked a little bit close. Like a collision with the other track. And this looks good. I'm happy with this. Now let's go ahead and bounce out of there. We're going to go ahead, we're going to end this episode. We're going to come back in the next one, and we'll probably build up some of this scenery. I'd kind of like to get this ride mostly enclosed. So thanks for watching. Come back for the next one, and we'll see how this develops, and have a great afternoon.